When we hear the word Glasgow, we think about the people, the amazing individuals who make up our great city, and the diversity and inclusivity amongst the locals. My name is Ernest Bunga, and today we are joined by three guests to get down to the brass tacks of what exactly makes Glasgow so great. Firstly, we are joined with Maggie McBean-Orr, who works to provide amazing opportunities to children in Glasgow. Maggie is head of operations of a charity called the PEAK Project. PEAK standing for Possibilities for Each and Every Kid, located in Bridgeton. PEAK seeks to support children, young people and families in Glasgow impacted by poverty. Hi Maggie, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks Ernest. How are you?
I'm doing fine myself. So, firstly, I would like to ask, what makes Glasgow's sense of community so unique when compared to other cities?
I think everyone knows Glasgow for its friendliness and, you know, it's the friendly city and people make Glasgow. And I think that's absolutely true most of the time. We've got each other's backs. We have always championed people less well off than ourselves, I think, as a city. And we've kind of come together in the face of adversity in lots of different creative ways throughout history. So I think that's really what makes Glasgow unique, is its people.
Of course. What would you say the PEAK project has done to help support and improve Glasgow's communities and neighbours?
I think PEAK helps to create community. I think it helps local people to create community. So we have play rangers who go out to where kids are already playing and do street work with them. So, for instance, last night, you know, after school between 4:30 and 6:30, all the play rangers go out and they do street play. But it was absolutely freezing last night, so they take their fire pits and they make a fire and everyone has marshmallows. And actually at these sessions what we find is that local people, as in maybe parents or people who just see these sessions taking place, will buy a loaf of bread and make up food for all the kids that are taking part. So that's what I mean when I talk about creating community. So when people see that, they themselves start to want to become involved and to contribute to those kind of experiences for children. I think so that when children are growing up, they feel that they're part of a community and to kind of carry that torch.
That's nice. And how do Glasgow's community-driven cultural projects ensure that every voice, regardless of background, is heard and valued, would you say?
I think community-driven cultural projects is such a broad-ranging term. So I think you've probably got museums, theatres, third sector organisations involved in all of that. I think the third sector organisations know the communities really well. So generally in that sector, these programmes are created with community members so that the project feels like it's of Glasgow and it's of that neighbourhood. I think there are a couple of amazing theatres in the city as well, the Tron and the Citizens, who are very focused on being community-led as well. Museums and galleries maybe would, try to involve local people as much as they possibly can, but may not have the resources to do it. So I think there's a lot of there's a big mix in there. But I think in the third sector, it's certainly the community voice which is the most important in these types of projects.
Of course. Well, thank you, Maggie. It's been really amazing to hear about the work you do. Now, let's take a short look at a video that showcases the amazing food and drink of Glasgow.
This year, Glasgow City is turning 850 years old, a vibrant city full of heart and soul that is welcoming to all. Here, no matter where you are, there will always be a place to eat, drink and have a great time. From the east side of the city to the west side. The ranges of food are limitless, as food from every culture can be found all around Glasgow. We'll be something for everybody. come over to the city of Glasgow, enjoy some good food while celebrating Glasgow 850. People make Glasgow.
Wow, Glasgow truly has some great spots. We aim for no one in Glasgow to feel like an outsider. Whether you're here for just a day or you're spending the next chapter of your life in our great city, we do our best here to welcome you with open arms. Now, we are joined by Michelle Morgan, a student who moved here to Glasgow, as we discuss her experiences joining our community. Hello, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. So, first things first, can you tell me a quick bit about your background here before coming to Glasgow?
Yeah, so I was born in the States, although I didn't actually live there. I'm actually from Mexico. That's where I lived most of my life. I moved here around 2022, coming, mainly for university and, just kind of doing the whole 4 years here.
Mm-hmm. I guess when coming here from somewhere very culturally different, how was it acclimatizing here? What was the process settling in?
It was quite a different, it was quite the culture shock, coming from a place that speaks Spanish, and Spanish being my mother tongue, coming to a place where it's not only English, which, I do speak, but it's even the accent's different, and it's quite hard to get to know. But like Maggie was saying, people really do make Glasgow. So in that sense, it's not very different from Mexico in the sense of it's a very friendly environment. So it was not hard to acclimatize to the culture itself. It was more the weather that was mainly the main issue,
Yeah.
Coming from 40 degrees to -2, which I think is what we're at right now.
It's very cold.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite a culture shock at first, but now that I've got, my flatmates, my friends, uni work and stuff like that, I've also got a job and, just interacting with a lot of people, because people do make Glasgow, and, it's gotten a lot easier now to interact with a lot of people.
That's nice. So what's your favorite aspect of Glasgow?
Well, not to sound redundant like Maggie said, it really is the people. From the first moment I kind of stepped into Glasgow, being a person that had never been to Scotland, being someone that could kind of understand the Scottish accent, let alone the Glaswegian, people were still so open and so friendly, open to getting to know me and my culture. Even nowadays, like, I work at a pub down in city center, and even now, like, people will just come up to me just to talk to me, and like, I'll be pouring a Guinness and I'd be having a conversation and I'd be getting to know about all these other people and their lives, and I'd be getting to know a little bit of, different aspects of Glasgow. And I feel like that's something that you don't get in a lot of places. A lot of places are just kept to themselves, but Glasgow is one of them that are diverse, and they're happy to be, So you can talk about your culture without feeling judged, and they can talk to you about, their experiences and their lives, and you don't judge, and it's genuinely a very, very unique thing that I feel like it's mainly in Glasgow that happens.
And now let's take a look at another great video showcasing a part of Glasgow.
Welcome to Glasgow, a city where we celebrate our history, culture and diversity. We visited Asian food stores around the city to explore just some of the culture it has to offer. And ask one of the owners about his experience here.
Very good, amazing. Everything is nice.
With the varieties of delicious cultural foods and friendly communities, these shops are a small part of home to many students, tourists and people of Glasgow.
It's a good opportunity for the businesses. Our local council support us nicely.
We hope that you can take the time to visit these friendly businesses whilst on your next shopping trip.
We are very happy.
From recognizing huge artists such as Oasis to producing our own musical geniuses such as Paolo Nutini, the Glasgow music scene is without a doubt one of the greatest. But Scottish music goes a lot more traditional if you know where to look. Today we are joined by Bob Graham, a local musician committed to spreading joy with classical musical tunes. Hi Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
First question, where did the love of music begin for you?
Probably when I was about 5 or 6 years of age, my mum took me to piano lessons and I learned a basic piano, and then from there my Scottish music took over. And I just loved learning Scottish music as a youngster.
This love of traditional Scottish music, what does it appeal to you so much?
Because it covers a lot of things. You know, when you think of songs like Loch Lomond and different things like that, and you think about the country, it's a beautiful place. I Belong to Glasgow is a famous song for Glasgow folk, and all these things just bring up lovely thoughts.
Of course, I've been to the Isle of Skye once and it was very beautiful there. And I've heard you love to bring a bag of instruments with you to some of your gigs. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Well, I play at a number of care homes and day centres, and the old folk there just love to get an instrument. They get bells, shakers. You could even be my wee scrubber. There's a scrubber and we use the scrubbing board. And they just, having them is part of it, and they just enjoy being part of it.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. I guess, what sort of gigs do you play these days?
Since COVID, it's kind of, I used to tour a lot of the Western Isles years ago, and since COVID's come in, there's not an awful lot happening now, but Western Isles, I now just do mostly care homes and day centres.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. I guess, what is your favourite Scottish song and why?
Favourite Scottish song is probably Loch Lomond. I just love the song, and it brings out everything, you know, starting from a nice slow song to a good finish, and it's always been in my thoughts.
I understand that. And I guess, what is your favourite aspect of Glasgow?
Aspect of Glasgow? I think just the people, you know, and most people enjoy music, which is a good thing. You know, and if they enjoy the music, and that's what I want to produce to them, good, lively music that they all enjoy.
Yeah, I'd love music myself, so I understand that completely. Thank you so much for joining us, Bob, and thank you for sharing your experiences in the Glasgow music scene. Now, I'm afraid that's all the time we have left for this evening. We thank you very much for joining us, but before we go, let's welcome Bob to the stage to play us out with the song. We hope you all enjoy.
By yon bonny bank and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, when me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Now ye take the high road and I take the low road. I'll be in Scotland afore true